Do you know what I love? Filming that entire video and then realizing my phone was not recording. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Lena. I make college and book related content. Today I will be bringing you advice on the college application process. I will be organizing this video as a timeline from freshman to senior year. If you are younger than a freshman in high school and you are in middle school, props to you for doing research now. I was definitely the same way. If you have any questions about the college application process after watching this video, please leave them down in the comments below and we will get into it. A little disclaimer, I applied to college 2 years ago as a senior in high school. I am currently a sophomore at St. Lawrence University, so I know things have changed, but I've tried to keep my advice fairly general, and I also will address the COVID complications that this has added to the college application process throughout this video. So when you are a freshman in high school, you may be at a brand new high school, you might not know anyone, or you might be going to a high school where you know absolutely everyone and nothing has changed. That was my case. But either way, high school is kind of like a new start. You can get involved with whatever you want to get involved in, and it's really the best time to get involved because then you can start to make your place in certain activities and clubs and sports that you really enjoy. So definitely pay attention to different clubs and activities that are going on and join the ones that you think interest you, and then it's okay if you don't click. You can always quit them later, but just try to join things. I would also say work hard in your classes. At some schools, you're not really allowed to take AP classes or very challenging classes your freshman year. That was my case, but still take the opportunity to work hard in your classes and build some good study habits because this will be good for your future years of high school as well as your adventures in college. Pay attention to what you enjoy, whether this is a specific sport that you enjoy, a subject that you really like, your style of learning, and just pay attention to all of that and keep that in mind because it will help you when you're researching colleges, applying to colleges, and then eventually when you're at college. And also, if you want to start doing research about colleges freshman year, definitely go for it. But if that's too stressful for you or you have no idea where to begin, it's okay not to start all of the research your freshman year. When your sophomore year of high school rolls around, you definitely have a better sense of where you fit in at the school, so make sure that you continue to be involved with whatever clubs you really enjoyed last year and join new ones if you didn't really like any of them. It's never too late to join, but you definitely want to join things sooner than later so that way you can show greater commitment to these activities. I know at my high school you were finally allowed to take AP classes your sophomore year, so if there are any AP classes or honors or college prep or anything like that available, definitely take advantage of those. And if not, that's okay. Colleges understand that. They can see what classes were available to you. There's only a handful of AP classes available at my school, and I know some people take like 15 AP classes, but if there's only 5 at your school, just take as many as you can, and if that means just taking one your sophomore year, perfectly fine. But definitely try to challenge yourself and continue to do well in your classes. There were some bumps in the road your freshman year with your grades. That's perfectly fine. Colleges are more focused on seeing an upward trend in your grades rather than a downward trend, so use your sophomore year to continue to do well in school. I would also say that this is the beginning of your research journey. I know there's a lot of people who don't begin to research colleges their sophomore year, but I highly recommend it. It will make your junior year a lot easier to handle if you already know what type of college you want to go to. So this can be a college in a rural area versus an urban area, a large school, a small school, a medium school. It can be a liberal arts school, a huge university. It could be the types of students that go there, the financial aid packages, the merit scholarships, the athletic scholarships, what types of programs are available. There's so much to research. You also might have to keep in mind the distance from your house or the ways that you can travel there. So there's so much to research, and I definitely recommend doing that your sophomore year because you'll start to get a better feel for things that you think you're going to like, and that will make it easier to actually start visiting and compiling your list later on in your high school career. Some great resources, obviously the internet is wonderful. I used the Fisk guidebook to colleges and I really liked that because it had everything consistent across the board. You could read about almost every single college from the same source, which kept things consistent, because if you're reading a profile about certain college on one website and about a different college on a different website, some of the numbers may be from different years and it's hard to like figure that all out. So FISC is all from the same year and it's from the same person's perspective, so it helps to even things out. But obviously there are so many more guidebooks and information books available. The FISC book is just one that I like to use with my family. Your junior year of high school is going to be incredibly stressful, or at least it was for me. I took a lot of challenging classes that year, and the pressure for college related things definitely starts to mount. People are asking you more and more frequently, where do you want to go? What do you want to major in? What are you going to do when you grow up? And that's a lot of questions, especially for people who aren't sure, or for people who don't want to share, which I was definitely the latter. Definitely start visiting schools your junior year. I know you can visit schools at any point, obviously, but I think it's more helpful to visit schools your junior year versus your freshman or sophomore year, because you can change a lot in high school as a person, and the closer you are to who you will be your senior year will be more helpful when you're trying to decide what schools to apply to. So as you visit different schools, pay attention to what you liked and what you didn't like, write it down. I kept a notebook with an account of every single college I visited, and I wrote it immediately after my visit, like minutes after I was done with the tour, because I didn't want to forget anything, and it was really helpful when I was looking back at it. Your junior year is also the year to take standardized tests if they are necessary. I know that because of COVID, a lot of schools are waiving the requirement. Schools have been waiving the requirement for decades already, but some schools who said they would never waive the requirement are doing that because they know that the COVID situation has prevented a lot of people from taking the test. So if you're not sure if your school requires it, just go on their website and see if you can find it through there. If you can't find it through there, please contact the school directly, because that's something very important to figure out now. But also start to brainstorm the teachers that you would like to write your recommendation letters, and depending on what kind of school you go to, some people even ask in the spring of their junior year. At my school, you didn't have to ask until the fall of your senior year, but at some large schools with teachers that get dozens of requests, they have to do it then. And keep up your good grades. Even though things are starting to become more and more stressful, your junior year is your last full year of grades for colleges to look at, because they will only get your partial senior year grades, so you want your junior year to look as great as possible. Again, either that means keeping it consistent across the board, or having your grades go up and up and up from freshman year, depending on where you started out. And then your senior year comes. And this is a very interesting year, because on one hand, you feel like your whole life is riding on this college application process, or at least that's how I felt. On the other hand, you're trying to enjoy your last year with your peers and really soak up all those amazing moments and opportunities. So definitely don't let the college process weigh you down and destroy your senior year for you. Make sure that you take the time to enjoy your senior year if possible. I would ask the teachers that you would like to write your recommendation letters in September, so like right now. You need to do that if you haven't done it already, because some schools have early deadlines, not because you're applying early decision, but I know that my state university, if you apply by November 1st, you can apply for free, and that's the case at a lot of other state universities and state colleges. So getting those application fee waivers is crucial to the college process, because it can be very expensive. So this could mean attending some virtual information session, or it could mean applying by a certain deadline, or signing up for a virtual tour. I know that a lot of things are virtual because of COVID, but if you can get those application fee waivers, that is great. Finalize the list of schools that you're going to apply to. I know that I applied to way too many schools, and I can honestly say there are some schools that I had no business applying to. I was just so wrapped up in the idea of I visited them and I might as well apply. You should know after your visit if that school was not a good fit for you. Whether this was you didn't think you would click with the rest of the students, you don't think your GPA really matches, you don't like the kinds of programs that are available, be honest with yourself and don't do what you think will make you look good or what you want to tell other people you did or what will make your parents happy. Try to focus on you because you're the person that's going to end up at that college. As you fill out your applications, take time to reread them and pay attention. Take time with your essays. If you do the Common App essay, take time with that, but also take your time with the supplemental essays that are specific to each college. I really believe that those supplemental essays can hold a lot of sway in the college application process, so take your time to really express yourself as who you are as a person, and things that don't necessarily show up on your application, make sure they show up in those essays so the colleges have a better idea of who you are as a person. If you have any questions, contact the school directly. If it's questions about standardized tests, or if it's a question about a specific program or department or study abroad opportunity or work study or anything like that, contact the school directly. It will show demonstrated interest. It will show that you are willing to take charge of your own education, and it will also get you answers a lot sooner than you just wondering, because if you have tried to find it on the website and you can't find it on the website, the only place you're going to get the answer is most likely from the school themselves. So call them up or send them an email if a call seems too daunting to you. But definitely contact them and get your answers because it will help you in the long run. After you hit submit on your applications, take a deep breath, relax. You did everything you could do. Make sure all your documents are submitted on time. But other than that, you're just gonna have to wait until you get your results. It is a very stressful process. I totally understand this. And it kind of seems like a racket at some points, I'm not gonna lie, but it's honestly necessary in some ways because for some people their career is not doable otherwise. That's all I have to share with you today. I feel like I threw a lot of information at you, so if you have any questions about something I said in this video or something I didn't say in this video, please leave them down in the comments below. If you haven't already, give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you as a subscriber. Next week I will be posting my September wrap-up, so if you are into book things, stick around for that next week. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next week. Information session.